everynyann, we are gathered here today in the spirit of the upcoming Valentine's Day for divorce. So a few years ago, I went through a rough breakup from dating the world's largest waffle. So, I was feeling a tad cynical, which led me to create this character, and she is like a warrior that hunts down cupids. Poor guys, just like to do their job, we can't have that. So for that, I wanted to have the stylized heart symbols on the armor to, symbolize this very toxic relationship. Most of this footage is from like 3 years ago, and I didn't have any real equipment back then. There was no heat gun, there was no tripod, there was no table, there was no support. A little salty, but just please subscribe, okay? Just please help. As I wanted to make a whole armor situation, of course. But there were some budget cuts on that, and we will only be making the shoulder thingies. So as I mentioned, I started making this like 3 years ago. So we're gonna go back in time. So I started this like any other project with just winging the pattern. Great start as always. I traced the pattern on the thicker EVA foam and I cut it out. Once that was all cut, I started gluing, and mid-gluing I figured out I don't like the shape of this, as one does when one does not bother to make a proper pattern. So some adjustments were made and there were some gluing issues. I didn't see the issue back then. No, I ignored a lot of issues. This looked fine. I then took the top part of the armor and drew on the details. Just drawing around the holes. Surely no one will notice. It's fine. And I would just like to remind everyone, this was 3 years ago. And this was like the third time in my life I ever touched EVA foam. I don't know where these audacities keep coming from. I then cut the details out of the thin EVA foam and I glued it on where I drew the details. I think I first drew and cut it out of paper, to match this. And I think I saw some paper scraps in the video. And gluing this is just like the relationship with the world's largest toddler. Me doing all the work and someone being uncooperative. The taste of salt is just keep getting stronger today. So I repeated the process on the other top part of the armor and then also on the parts underneath. So I just did basically the same thing. And the lower parts have a slightly different shape, but they are equally badly glued. And here we have them all glued together. It looks fantastic. Then I was like, you know what, I can fix this. No, not just another metaphor for the relationship with Mr. Receding Hairline. The salt is coming from somewhere. Anyways, I just kept on gluing and gluing and gluing until there was more glue than EVA foam visible. So there is no footage of this, but basically the sanding result was rough, which is, ironic. But, with the limited equipment I had back then, I think this was honestly the best I could do. So there was a process of me just caking on the quickie seal type glue and then sanding and then probably crying. So I repeated this over and over again until at one point I just gave up and painted everything orange very badly. Which brings us to the present day. And with Mr. More Like No Hairline gone, the sun shines brighter, the birds sing louder, my mental state is better, and I have place and tools to actually be able to make this. So I picked up the orange monstrosity and resumed where I left off. I thought these were almost done. And they're not, it's falling apart now! I'll try to fix this. The situation was worse than I remembered it initially, but no, it's fine. No, I went through worse in life. So I started with sanding this properly, and of course it's out of frame. every time. I swear to God, I'm not doing this on purpose. And so what I was trying to do was to make a little more depth next to the heart detail, so it would look more like smelted. Is that the word I'm looking for? Who fucking knows? So yeah, anyway, I'm now shaping the armor with the heat gun since I couldn't do that before. I really went into a project with nothing but thoughts and prayers. While I was shaping this, I also re-glued the parts where the glue just gave up on life, which, you know, like same girl. So we bring out our old friend, the Fix All My Issues glue. And look, it has fixed in the name. So I was almost finished with this tube, so I was just scooping this out of the cut up tube like a little raccoon that I am. So I just used all of the glue I had left to make the first rough patch. And then I also ordered the quickie seal. And so if you have been here before, you may or may not heard one of my many rants about nothing being available where I live. So last time I ordered Eva foam. With that order I also got the quickie seal because I wanted to see if there is like an actual difference between this one and the one that I can buy here in the cosplay store, I mean the hardware store. No, because this one is imported from the US. To Europe, and therefore it is already more expensive. And no, Europe might also just be hit with a tariff, so there is just like no way I am buying this again. So I sent it the rough patch and tried the quickie seal, and you know what, it's literally the same thing. The only thing with this one is the applicator is so much better for making props than the other ones. I will definitely not be buying this again. I will, however, cut off the applicator when I'm done with this tube, and then I will reuse it with the glue that I can buy here. You know, like a dirty little raccoon again, just. Also a few more rounds of sanding and gluing, and it was such a patchy color that I really couldn't see if anything is even or not. I decided to paint it a semi-solid neutral color, and then I saw the bubbles starting to form. I assume from like the heat gun, and yeah, this would become a giant air bubble in my plans. I did some rough sanding to see if I can get rid of them like that, and I also did some rough shaping so I can first try them and see what's even visible, or this will take another 3 Valentine's days to finish. Now, a report from the past. Okay, we will be trying it on. Looks great. Held together by tape and prayer. Okay, so we're gonna try to see if it fits and what I have to fix still. We can see. What can we see? We can see shit. Okay, we may or may not be able to see. We have bubbles that I made. I already sanded them here. Okay, there are a little more things than I initially thought will need fixing, but we'll fix it. Now I can fix it. It's fine. No, red is my favorite color. It's gonna go on a shoulder. Oh God. On a shoulder like this, and I will make straps to hold it. I think this will be okay. I mean, yeah, like... Oh wait. God, such a dumbass. Okay, let's try this again. She's a little wiggly and doesn't have arms, but it's okay. I think it's fine. Then we have the straps will be holding it. I think it's gonna be okay. We'll find out. I'm probably wrong, and this will go horribly wrong. Thank you. I love how everything is centered. I can somewhat also move. If I plan this better, I would have a fun time right now, but here we are again, and wish me luck, guys. Also, the demon attacked me in my sleep. Can you see it? Can you? I went on fixing the oopsies of my creation, and I also cut off a piece underneath on an angle to make it fit better. So I also made another budget cut, and now I only have one part underneath instead of two, because this was already taking forever and there are, more bubbles every time I look at it. After sanding and gluing this forever, I was now very confident that I am done with this, so I used surface primer for base color, and my confidence was once again false because we have, more bubbles. We might notice this is a recurring theme of this video, it's salt and bubbles, that's all. That's all I'm doing today. Now the footage again becomes a little shittier. The bubbles turn into more and more bubbles, and eventually it was just like one big bubble, and long story short, I peeled off half the paint on it. So I was just repeating, the gluing and the sanding and the gluing and the crying, and then I eventually just had a meltdown. I cannot deal with this anymore. This is gonna have to be it. I can't. I can see the shadows of the fuck ups in the camera. I can't actually see them in real life. So you know what? I'm done. This is gonna have to be it, I guess. Now this took me longer than if I did the whole thing from scratch. Assholes. All of you fucking assholes. After having enough, I primed them again. After being so pissed off, I thought I was done like 30 times at this point, and this was not getting done. No, the result was acceptable at the end. Actually, the primer did cover up some smaller undesirables, so that was a nice little surprise over there. Then I moved on to laying down the base red, then I started some shading. So I don't love to do everything with just the airbrush. It's a little too soft. So first I shade with the brush. That way I get some sharper edges as well, and some texture, and also a direction to where to shade. When that dried, I went back with the airbrush and in the same shade color. Then I repeated the process in a darker shade, again first with the brush, then with the airbrush. I also airbrushed at the edge underneath, and I also did a little lighting, and I took a reddish orangey color with a bit of primer and airbrushed on the lightest bits. I also wanted to make a little shine with the brush, but I really felt like my luck has run out on this one. Just didn't want to risk it and ruin the whole thing. The paint job turned out so good. How? I haven't airbrushed anything in 6 months. And it was cheap the last time I did it. How did this get better? What is this sorcery? I don't understand. No, one like is one airbrush skill point. I also painted the rest of the underneath black. Then I did the scariest part, which was gluing these two pieces together. And the only way to basically do this is to apply glue on a very freshly, beautifully painted piece. This one hurt. This one was right in the kokoro, actually. Luckily, it all turned out good. There was a bit of a gap on the inside that I filled with silicone. Then I used a contact glue to glue over a piece of cloth on the seam, so it will be more secure with being glued together on multiple ends. Okay, we are almost done. Basically, what I need is the straps to hold this together, and the original plan was, to make one on each shoulder thingy, so make the little cross and then have adjustable straps. That didn't happen. Basically, I ran out of time and will to craft because I was in a fight with everyone. I was in a fight with my mom. I was in a fight with my dentist. And then a friend of mine since high school basically betrayed me. So this project was just, salt and cynicism from start to finish. And I'm done, kinda. So yeah, then I just put one strap on the back and then two on the front. And I tied it together just so it would, stay up. So this is perfect for the cynical Valentine's Day video. I don't know, man. It is what it is. I see, but the paint job though, I love this. Why does it look so good? Okay, I do still think it would look better and be done faster if I now started from scratch. However, it was kind of cool to see a lot of progress was made in that time. Even though I was actually kind of slacking, it's still not bad, I guess. But with me not being willing to make the straps properly because I was very busy being pissed off, I now cannot raise my arms past the T-Rex pants. Luckily, we only need this for a video today, so this isn't the biggest problem. And I will be making the proper ones, but probably before I'm gonna wear this for an event or a photo shooting or whatever. Okay guys, this is gonna be it for this one. Please leave a like and also subscribe. Remember, 1 like removes 1 grain of salt of this video. So we need a lot, okay? Please help me out. Thank you for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.